The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Approaching the ring, from Miami, Florida, weighing 275 pounds, The Rock!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Approaching the ring from Miami, Florida, weighing 260 pounds, The Rock.